YouTubers, Mike Bors with the Mike Bors channel. Thank you for watching. Today we're talking dryers, and in the event that yours is not drying your clothes, we're going to talk about the most common causes. Let's take a look. All right, YouTubers, at the dryer now, and most common cause number one is a clogged vent. And basically, remove your actual screen here. Make sure that is clean. A lot of times what happens is down in here, as you can see, this actually leads out the dryer vent and feeds all the way through the tubing to the exit point outside your home. As you can see down in there, you can see a little bit of buildup of lint. So what we want to do is do our best to grab some of that through this access area, as well as go to the back of the dryer and verify that the rear portion is not clogged. After spending a couple minutes and cleaning this area as well as the internal area here, you can go ahead and reinsert and secure your dryer screen vent. Come to the back side, and in most cases it'll be dusty, so be aware of that. The dryer line or vent tubing connects to the rear portion, and you'll notice that flathead yours may be a fill-up. However, go ahead and loosen that clamp and we can remove that entire hose. Once the clamp is loose, carefully remove the dryer vent tubing and take a look inside. As you can see, ours looks pretty good. It's pretty clear. A little bit of lint in here, and we'll also get down below. Shine a light inside here. This actually feeds all the way up to that screen area, and over time this can clog up. At this point, as you can see, I positioned the dryer vent line there, and grab a light, just come down below and look all the way to the internal portion. Ours is pretty clear and there is absolutely nothing clogging it, so that's good. Next thing we want to do is actually insert the light in here, verify that there is no clogs of any sort. We're actually going to go outside as well and check the exit point outside. It's also very, very important to note when you are pulling your dryer away from the position where it sits, if it's a gas, make sure you do not harm or kink the gas line. The last thing you want to do is create a gas leak during the project. That would not be good. All right, YouTubers, outside now, and in most cases it is very close to the dryer, basically on the other side of the wall. This is the outside exit or exhaust point, and you've got a little flap or vent inside here. Ours is pretty clean and clear. We shined a flashlight in there and that is very clean. What I want to show you now is an actual tool that you can purchase from your local Lowe's, Home Depot, or Ace Hardware that will clean the entire tubing or vent hose. Back inside now, and this is the cool little tool I'm mentioning. It has a connection point you screw into something that you can twist and adjust, and this portion, as you can see, this is what inserts in the tubing and feeds all the way through and unclogs any blockage of lint of any sort. However, again, in our case, it is clear. We don't actually have to use this tool today. Back behind the dryer now, and the next thing, these ventilation slots here, these are important. These are what your dryer uses to suck in air and properly breathe and ventilate. In the event that any of these or all of these are so clogged with lint and dust, that interrupts the ventilation process and your dryer can overheat. Now we will actually open this back portion up. You've got several of these little bolts here all over the external portion of this panel, and you just want to remove all of them. Again, be very, very careful of your gas line. You do not want to harm that or crimp it. So just spend a few minutes and remove all of these. Once you get the top row, basically you can shift your top cover rearward and it will actually come out of its front slots there. You can lift it up. Use both hands, I recommend. You don't want to drop it. Set it in a safe location. Back down below, you've got a green screw, and that is also metric, and go ahead and run into that. After removing that green screw or bolt, that is your ground. You'll notice that this little washer here is connected to your ground wire. Be very careful. An additional screw right here. Go ahead and loosen that up. After removing that actual plate, your ground wire again, this is your power cord. You will shift that to the side. Be very careful. You don't want to harm any of this. Up top, you've got additional screws, one here and one on the opposite side, as well as a third one here. Back panel off. Be very, very, very careful of that gas line. Last thing you want to do again is create a gas leak. Go and remove these screws around the radius of this part. On the front of the dryer now, and we are going to remove this access panel. Behind here, we can gain access to a lot of those internal parts that we need to inspect. Come down below. On the bottom of each side, you've got 2 little screws. Go ahead and remove the far right screw as well as far left screw. After removing both of those screws, go ahead and carefully shift this cover plate off and got access to a lot of parts. Next, in the event that you can gain access to the parts that we are going to cover in this video, awesome. However, if you can't, what I want to show you is how to remove this faceplate here. Open up the door, you have a couple Phillips screws along the radius of the inner portion of the door as well as here. Go ahead and remove those. Two more screws, one on the far lower left and one on the far lower right. Go ahead and remove those. With the top cover off, go ahead and remove the far left and far right screw. With those screws removed, on the inner portion you have little plastic tabs right in there. Just by shifting them outward, you can shift this portion out of that gap. I may need both hands. And YouTubers, trust me when I say this, you do need both hands working through. You've got an additional tab on the far left and far right, as well as the internal grooves here. You just carefully work them around and up and over the actual clips. Do your best not to break anything. You're working with a lot of plastic. Carefully shift this up and try not to harm the wiring. And next, screw here and a screw here. Go ahead and remove those. Alright, the door is off and it is still connected to the inner wire there. I'm not going to actually disconnect that connection point. And here are your coils. You've got one on the front side and you've got an additional one on the rear side. You've got the electrical connection points feeding into each coil, and then you've got a Phillips screw here and a Phillips screw here. By removing both of those Phillips screws, you can actually remove the securing plate and you can get these coils out to give you a better position to remove these electrical connection points. Tight squeeze. Do your best not to drop these Phillips screws. They may be tough to find. After getting those screws out, that's what the part looks like. It comes up and off the internal coils. From here, just be careful. You can pull each coil up and off of its actual rod here. And we'll get each of them up and out. This is an important step, and you want to make sure you position these properly just to maintain organization through the project. Notice how this has 3 wires, white, blue, and black. That coil goes on the first rod here. The coil that has blue and white and only 2 wires, that is the inner or far rod. This is a little pick tool I've got from our local AutoZone, and it's got a little tab that loops onto a clip. Very, very careful. Just lift this up and remove this connection point from the coil. Just like that, and do it for both sides. Again, do not break this little clip here. That is required. See that little slot? That's required to secure itself onto the new coil. Do that for the same coil here. With your voltmeter, go ahead and turn it to this pictorial image. We want to actually check the continuity of the coils. And you'll notice it has the number 1 on it. In the event that it stays on 1, that means you have a bad coil. In the event that you show an actual reading as such, that's a good coil. And both coils are good, so we know it's not the coils. However, in the event that you have no continuity, you will need to replace both of these coils. You'll notice on the bottom side it has a little tab here that goes on the upper portion. And you'll just carefully install both of the coils, and from here we will insert the securing plate. When securing this plate, you'll notice a big hole. That is for this portion here, and then those little tabs I just showed you, those are for the little holes right here. So again, you'll know that you're actually securing your coils properly when you can secure this plate and both coil tips are coming out of those small holes. Making progress. The securing plate is on, and again, there are the little plastic tips coming out of those small holes. With the faceplate removed, you may be able to actually gain access to it by hand. It is right up in here. However, This part right here, I'm going to remove it to show you a better view of it for your convenience. Just go around the actual radius and you will have several 1/4" screws. I think 3 or 4 to be exact. On the opposite side, I remove one screw and you've got a few screws here. Just be careful, we did not actually remove that electrical connection point. Be nice to the wiring. After removing the screws, that electrical connection point down below, just be careful and spend a little bit of time, clean all that up. We're actually going to gain access to the part. There it is. Let's go ahead and remove that 1/4 screw and those connection points and test it. While you're at it, clean out that area there, and to gain access to that 1/4 screw, you may have to actually use a socket and ratchet. After removing that screw, it's pretty small, don't lose it. Now we can gain access and position this thermostat in a way where we can remove these connection points, and you'll notice the wiring, the long wire actually goes to the connection lead closest to the hole. Let's go ahead and remove those. Now to test the part, go ahead and shift your voltmeter to that pictorial image there, and you'll notice a 1. We want to check the continuity. In the event that you actually get a reading, that means the part is good. So I will touch the leads here, and there is no reading whatsoever. This part is completely failed and needs to be replaced. That's it, YouTubers. Hopefully this video helps. Do us a favor, below the video, you'll see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely ring your YouTube bell. That would be very helpful to us. We would really appreciate it. Also, scrolling above is a step-by-step video on how to replace your thermostat. Definitely check that out. Thanks again for watching.